Hi there, folks. I'm Bill Malone, and I'm the relationship guy. And today, in this blog, I'm going to be talking about the fact that love is not enough when it comes to a relationship and a marriage. Love may be something that brings you and your partner together, but love is not going to be something that will sustain your relationship. There are a variety of other factors that are important to keeping your relationship moving along in a very positive manner. Now, so in this blog, I'm going to talk about 4 essential things that are necessary besides love, because like I said, love might bring you together, but it won't keep you together. So the 4 things, number 1, the first is being able to negotiate. A relationship is all negotiation. When you and your partner get together, you're going to have to negotiate where to put the salt and pepper shaker, who's going to do the dishes, how we're going to manage money. And remember, there are 3 areas of kids that couples fight over: money, sex, and kids. The more you're able to negotiate each of these items, the more you will be able to get along, and you'll have and experience less conflict in this relationship. So negotiation means both of you walking away from the table, having at least a slice of the pie and feeling good about what you got. It's what Stephen Covey calls a win-win deal. So being a good negotiator is important. You also need to be able to be a good problem solver, because like you would think, we're going to have problems in a relationship. I remember when I got and asked my wife's father, my father-in-law, to get married to his daughter, he asked me, are you prepared to be able to deal with the problems that occur in a marriage? My response to him was, we're not going to have any problems because we are in love. Oh boy, how stupid, Bill. It's kind of like what he said, but in a more polite way. There are going to be problems, and you would be best to learn how to be a good problem solver. And like was said in the movie Apollo 13, we need to work the problem, not to fight with each other. Work on solving the problem. By learning to solve the problems in a very effective and reasonable manner, you're going to eliminate a whole host of infightings and arguments that come along the way. If you're really doing good problem solving, there isn't room for arguments. It's working at identifying what the problem is and looking at the various ways that you can solve it. You also need to be and learn how to establish healthy and good systems. Now, what do I mean by systems? Systems mean agreements. So let me now tell you another story. When I first got married to my wife and we were living together, I came to work and I left 2 chocolate donuts in the box when I left the house. And those 2 chocolate donuts sustained me for the whole day. I was looking forward nothing more than coming home and pouring myself a big glass of milk and having these 2 chocolate donuts. So when I got home, I said hello to my wife. I went to the cabinet, and lo and behold, there were no donuts. I poured myself a big glass of milk. I looked further. There were no donuts. And I said to my wife, where's the donuts? And her response was, I ate them all. And I said, you ate them all? I said, what about sharing? And her response was, sharing, hell, it's first come, first serve. I thought, no, that's not how I grew up. I grew up, we share with everything. Of course, in my family, we even shared our underwear, which I think is going too far. So we now have 2 different models. First come, first serve, or sharing. Well, those 2 models are not going to exist together in the same house. So we had to negotiate what system is going to work for us. Not for the neighbors, not for the siblings, but what was going to work for us. So what do you think we came up with. Now, most people will say sharing. Well, that wasn't it. We came up with first come, first serve. And to this day, it's still the model in my family, in our relationship. My children have grown up with that. None of this leaving the last piece of pie for somebody else. If it's in there, you can eat it. First come, first serve. We'll get you another pie. And so we've eliminated a whole lot of arguments over that. So therefore, I recommend you coming up with systems that we both can agree on, that aren't going to be your way and aren't going to be his way or her way, but we're going to come up with a system. My system in my house, which my wife agrees thoroughly, is first come, first serve. Now, the other essential ingredient, besides being a good negotiator, besides being a good problem solver, besides creating systems that you both can adhere to, the most simple solution is simply to date your spouse. You don't have to do luxurious and glamorous trips to Boston and to Paris and England. Oh, those are nice. But dating your spouse regularly tells that spouse that you are still very much interested in. Now, there's some rules about going on a date, which is you're not allowed to solve and talk about problems that are having in the relationship. If you want to ruin the date, get into problem solving about kids and money and sex and those sort of things. Go on a date, enjoy being with each other, and what you'll find, this will bring far more closeness to your relationship so that you can then solve problems more readily. So those are my 4 points that you need to consider when you're looking for a healthy relationship. Love's not enough. Being a good problem solver, being a good negotiator, creating systems, and of course, date your bride, date your husband, because it makes us feel good. So this is Bill Malone, the relationship guy, signing off for now, wishing you well and a happy relationship. Thanks, and we'll see you soon.